First of all, no. Second, we're about to be part of one of history's biggest tipping points, and this weekend's protests are going to be some of the most widespread displays of community action that we've ever seen, both in the United States and abroad. Out of curiosity, do you happen to know what the threshold is for nonviolent protest to work? Because it's just 3.5%. 3.5% of the population has to engage in peaceful resistance to achieve their goals of change. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with how politics works, but the entire reason our country, our government, our policies are not entirely static is because people shared ideas with one another. Somebody speaking out and advocating for something different is the only way that things have ever changed. And it's why we don't have the same laws that we had 100 years ago. It's why we're not still under British rule. Now, some people might be born with one set of opinions that they keep for the rest of their life, but there are more than enough people for whom that isn't true, that dialogue, debate, and communication are actually what cause progress. And I've already talked about how the Trump administration is fragile, both emotionally and logistically. But they are finally losing meaningful amounts of support, while at the same time, companies are getting hit on multiple sides, both from the boycotts and the economic declines from Trump's actions. And the reason that the boycotts are having such an impact is because they're working. Like, they're really working. We've stood up to a man who bought his way into office by taking away his purchasing power, which, by the way, was a long time coming. His P&E ratio is embarrassing. And the companies who folded first or used their money for nefarious influence are now seeing what it's like when we use our money as influence. But if what you're really saying is that all people are just too entrenched in their opinions to be reasoned with, then that is a generalization that we can't afford to fall for, and it's not even true. There are a lot of people who are raised with beliefs that were reinforced over decades by a deeply entrenched web of misinformation. They've been lied to by their choice of media, which was usually dictated from birth. And that misinformation is reinforced by community members, their church, politicians. And some of these people are spreading information they don't even realize is not true. And that's why the most effective way to reach people is still to directly talk to them. We do them and ourselves and everyone else a disservice if we write off everyone as a lump sum like that. Talking to people in both directions is necessary to make progress, and we are seeing that shift as a result of not giving up. So, if you'd like to offer me a more effective alternative, then by all means, please do. But until then, if you really want me to shut up about politics, then start putting in some work to get us to a place where I don't have to talk about it in the first place. And in the meantime, if this continues to displease you that I'm speaking about it, I want you to ask yourself why. Because politics does affect science and tech in direct and indirect ways. So this is actually relevant to the hook that you're wanting me to stick to. So I suspect that there's some other reason.